seems, to me anyway, to have detracted nothing from the racing and from the entertainment there. So either way, I think we'll have a good time in Adelaide, and we're having a hell of a good time here just watching this race. Senna threatening a little bit, but remember, this is a narrow track. The cars are fairly equally matched on power. This is one of the places as they go out onto the straight where Senna would be looking to try and draw alongside under braking. He's being big at Prost in the mirrors, but it's a little bit of a quick flick there for any heroics. And of course Senna will have the added knowledge that Prost only has to take them both out of the race to win the World Championship, and whether he thinks Prost is going to do it or not, because I think it's highly unlikely, he must always allow for that possibility in his thinking, even if he believes that Prost wouldn't do a thing like that, which I certainly believe. He can't afford to go very close to Prost when he looks for a way past, just in case Prost does something silly like that.
They've just gone underneath. There's a crossover, you will have noticed. We haven't mentioned it before at Suzuka. They've just gone through there. They're about to complete another lap. That will be the end of their 43rd lap in this 53-lap race. And Prost has pulled away just a little bit from Ayrton Senna at this point.
If I was in Senna's shoes, and I'm not sure I have detected that he might be doing it already, I would maybe start trying to con Prost. And there's Mansell, he's surviving, so it's obviously only an oil leak. The question there for Mansell is whether he's going to have enough oil to last for the race, because they don't work terribly well without oil, these cars. Going back to Senna, Senna's tactics, I would have said now, would be to try and appear to Prost that although he's still trying hard, he can't really do much about it. Try to lull Prost into a sense of false security. I've seen Senna do it before. He's got that sort of cunning, and I think that if he could lull him into a sense of false security and then spring a sudden attack with about 5 or 6 laps to go, that would still be enough time, and he might just be able to catch that, to relax Prost now and catch him unawares a bit.
Well, welcome back. Things are certainly hotting up at Suzuka. As you can see, Nigel Mansell's just retired his Ferrari. It would appear that leak has become very much terminal. Prost and Senna are still seesawing backwards and forwards for their lead. Nakajima's just retired out of his home Grand Prix. That's a shame for him, because he seems to go twice as well at this circuit than he does anywhere else in Europe. But as you can see, Senna's still pressuring Prost. There's only about 8 laps to go, so I think it's going to come right down to the wire. All right, we won't talk any longer. Let's get straight back there to James and Marray.
He is now in the points in 6th position, but has been lapped. We're riding now with Senna, world champion. Lap 46 out of 53. Prost is in his sights. The world championship chance is in his sights. And it's a 53-lap race. This is lap 46. And Prost has got enormous pressure on him. So in a way as Senna, because Senna knows that if he can't get up with Prost and look for his opportunity to get past, he will not repeat his world championship.
So our car, that's Senna's, as we ride with him right up on the curve, sectioning out under the bridge down to the short straight. You see Prost is not hurrying into the corners, and that's absolutely the right thing to do when defending a position, because of course hurrying into the corner you can go wide, but he can't overtake on the way in, and then lining the car up to make sure to get the power on early and right, and that leaves your opponent with very little he can do. Back to Mansell, out of the race, but really we would like to see this epic battle that goes on. And that's as close as Senna has been at any stage at this point on the circuit. She came before the pits, and there you see what happens with these cars. Their acceleration is so great that the leader will always get the power on first. You see just how quickly, being maybe a tenth of a second earlier on the power, what a big difference that makes as the cars exit the corner. Prost still defending, and Ayrton Senna is the man now upon whom the onus rests. Has he got something up his sleeve, or will he try? It looks to me as if he has no obvious answer. Will he try something desperate? He showed himself capable of doing that. Prost is making sure that Senna will have to do something like that, because he is, as I say, going slowly into the corners, getting early on the power, and an anxious McLaren team there, and Senna again closer than ever before.
This is Alain Prost, 150th Grand Prix, so he has had experience of just about every situation, including this one. The situation of being in the lead with the second place man treading on his rear wheels almost, and having to resist that pressure, keep his racing line, not go wide, not leave an opportunity and a door open through which Senna would be like a flash. Now, there are very few cars left on the circuit. There's 14 running now out of the 26 who started, and if Prost comes up to any of them, this is the opportunity that Senna's looking for, and he's going through. Ouch! Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. They meet. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race, and that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship. Alain Prost, World Champion of 1989.
Well, and just look at this, because Ayrton Senna, who can get going again, but he's been pushed, that's outside assistance, and I'm afraid to say that that is all over for Ayrton Senna, and it was his own fault because of the slow corner. He wasn't past Prost, and he went into a gap, and Prost had every right to turn into him there, and I'm afraid that was self-inflicted. Senna has got going again. He's back on the track, but he will for sure be disqualified for receiving a push start there.
Well, that is contentious. The rule says that you can be pushed if you are judged to be in a dangerous position. So it could well come down to a steward's decision of some kind, but look at the problems that Senna is going to have with car handling. And now, of course, Alessandro Nannini is very much in the running, and it could be that we're going to see the Benetton Ford winning, and a Benetton winning, and Senna is still leading. Senna with this twisted nose cone and very dodgy handling, and it's coming to pieces. He's going to have to come into the pits to have it replaced. He goes off, he's lost downforce, of course, and that dramatically affects adversely the handling of the car. No wings on either side, and we are on lap 48 in this 53-lap Japanese Grand Prix, with Alain Prost walking in. Heaven knows what's going through his mind as Ayrton Senna tried to take it.
Well, I'll tell you what's going through my mind. What a tragic way to finish such a thrilling race, and it really was tragic that Senna should self-inflict such an injury, because he just asked for Prost to take his line and drive into him, and it was, as we suggested, an act of desperation on Senna's part, and it did look as if he needed that, so in fairness to him, maybe that was his only way. Now, will Senna come in to change that nose, or will he try and stay out?